This is a sensitive area. This is a sensitive area, but typically you're modifying the firmware. I want to be able to go down as one of the greatest of all times, and I know that's a long road that I'm going down, but that's the ultimate goal. You're not going to be perfect at first, but over time you're going to build that skill with repetition.
All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Sedric Louissaint. Sedric, how we doing, my man?
I'm doing all right. And yourself?
Doing good. So, Sedric, man, it's been a little bit since we've seen you in the cage. Talk us a little bit more about what's next for you, my man.
What's next for me? So, looking at August 3rd, Combat Night. Still waiting for the official contract, but supposedly got an opponent on the horizon. So, hopefully looking to come in, do the thing, and get out of there in quick fashion again.
Nice. Now, when it comes to that August card, I mean, what are you maybe doing in the gym to kind of prepare for it?
So really, I've been just really focusing on pushing the pace, just really focusing on being able to go a hard 5 minutes for 5 rounds, even though the fight's going to be 3 rounds, of being consistently training for that big gold round.
Yeah, no, that definitely sounds good. And when it comes to just like training stuff, man, what's maybe some of your favorite things you like to do in the gym?
I love the grapple. Everybody knows me. Yeah, I like grappling. I've been working a lot more on the stand-up, this past year and some change. Been really falling in love with that. But grappling that's my thing. I've just grew up wrestling, so that base has always helped me and let me shine in that area.
Yeah, no, definitely. And when it comes to just like training and stuff too, what's maybe the vibes like in the gym? What kind of music do you like to listen to when you're training in there?
So, I mean, honestly, I listen to everything in the gym. Julian usually is playing either rap music, some lo-fi. It could be, current rap music or some old school hip hop. It just really just depends on, what the algorithm's serving up that day. And we're pretty open. We listen to house music. We listen to some techno. We listen to all different types of music, K-pop sometimes, but my vibe is more of the rap.
I like it. And you're obviously undefeated now. You're 3-0. How long do you think it will take you to maybe get signed to another bigger promotion?
Well, I mean, I'm under contract for a few more fights, so it's going to take at least 3 to 4 fights. But honestly, I think at any of my next performances, should have the eyes on the right, matchmakers per se. I train with a lot of high level guys, and I know I'm there, and I show it in the gym and in the cage, and I really think this next performance, of course, every fighter says it, but I really think it's going to showcase everything that I've been working on and be able to show some of my other sides that I haven't shown in the cage.
Yes, no, definitely. And when it comes to your opponents and stuff, man, do you happen to watch any film and stuff on them as well?
I'm not sitting there studying them. I'm not gonna say I don't watch film on my opponents, but yeah, I watch some of their previous fights. Try to see their evolution, their game. But it's pretty much just right out the gate. Just take a look. Up, he's a southpaw. He's orthodox. That's pretty much it. That's what I'm preparing for.
Nice. No, that definitely makes sense. And you're obviously a busy guy, man. When it comes to when you're not in the gym, I mean, what do you typically do outside of the cage, man?
Man, outside the cage, man, I'm a father and I'm also a husband. So, I got a lot of responsibilities and, things I'm taking care of, spending time with my family and my son. If not that, you can catch me, pretty much playing video games or building my businesses that I am. I work in cybersecurity. So I'm a consultant. So I work on all different types of engagements, majority of which, I'm designed to come in and hack things and break things just like an attacker would, and try to, figure out what vulnerabilities are being exploited, or doing some digital forensics, doing investigations, working together with all different types of teams. That's pretty much what you'll catch me doing.
That's pretty cool. Now, how'd you get into that as well, too?
Well, man, I've always been a kid that was into tech. I was jailbreaking, PlayStations, and iPhones and iPads back in the day, and pretty much, cheat codes. Just being honestly, just Halo days, like Halo 2 days. That's when I fell into the rabbit holes of manipulating software. So I've always been inclined on how computers work. After high school, figured out how to figure out something to do, right? So figured this is a nice opportunity to get into tech. After I was doing some other stuff, working odd jobs, and then just by just, I like to say, is the grace of God too, a little bit of grace of God too, because I was a little bit hard headed. I saw this guy living this remote lifestyle, working remote, hacking companies, and I was like, man, I want to do that. And I say, all right, I'm going to learn everything about the tech because I know I feel like I had the skills and just needed the direction to learn, and just went to school and self-taught myself through YouTube and trial and error, and found my way in the industry and started hacking companies, doing bug bounties, just reporting bugs to them and either getting a pat in the back or or some money. But yeah, that's pretty much how I got my start.
Wow. Okay. So when it comes to like jailbreaking a PlayStation, man, I mean, what typically goes on when you do that?
So this is a sensitive area. uh, this is a sensitive area, but typically you're modifying the firmware, and just have to say this for educational research purposes. Disclaimer. But typically, yeah, you would just go in, you would have to, modify the firmware of the PlayStation, then flash and load it on the PlayStation. And pretty much sometimes you have to be careful when you're going online, because there's the other detection mechanisms that they have in place that could get you banned. So just a disclaimer too, if you do this, if it's against Sony's terms of service.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it is. And yeah, no, that's pretty sick that you having to learn off YouTube and everything like that as well too. So that's definitely pretty cool, man. And getting back in your fighting and stuff too, man. I mean, when it comes to like your training partners and stuff, is there any training partners that you usually like to hang out with outside the gym?
Man, honestly, it's tough. I don't really spend a lot of time with a lot of my MMA training partners outside the gym because I'm just so tied up with everything else that I got going on. So that time I am in the gym with them, that I really do cherish. That's our quality time. But usually it's Christmas parties, gatherings where we're all together. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. And for someone that's never made that walk before to fight in the cage, I mean, how would you describe that to somebody that has never done that before?
Oh man, I could describe it for me, because I know everyone's experience is a little bit different. But for me, when I'm making that walk, in that cage, I feel all those butterflies in your stomach, where you feel the adrenaline pumping, you're in the back warming up, your team's hyping you up, you thinking of all the hard work and dedication that you put in, and that you have another guy who thinks the same thing on the other end, and we're about to see who's really going to get it and who's really going to come out victorious. And that, what I can describe, if anybody ever has that feeling in anything else, is that you have two things that you can do. You could either take that energy and leverage it to accomplish your goal, or you can let it consume you. And when you let it consume you, that's when you get that adrenaline dump, and might not have the performance you'd like that night.
Yeah, no, definitely. And go ahead, keep going.
No, I was gonna say, but definitely crazy. It's definitely, I can equate it to potentially, like skydiving. It's that adrenaline. There's nothing like it. One-on-one combat with another human being. It's modern day gladiator combat, as you know.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And when it comes to like you getting ready to make that walk, like maybe a couple seconds right before you make that walk out, do you think that's where the fight is won and lost? Kind of like where the nerves are, like the most and everything like that. Do you think that's where the fight is won and lost right before you make that walk?
I wouldn't say it's right there, but it definitely will take a heavy toll on you. And if you're not mentally strong and you really don't believe in yourself, it'll show. And when an opponent can smell blood in the water and can see that, you could be just pushing the boulder over the edge.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when you're staring across that cage too against your opponent, I mean, do you happen to maybe see like that fear in your opponent's eyes as well too?
I have, and you can also read people, their body language throughout the fight. But that's exactly what I'm looking for right in the beginning. It's everything. Reading all the body cues, reading exactly how their soul is coming out. You can see it. You can eat, and when they don't want to be in there with you, they're like, "Damn, I don't think I'm supposed to be in here right now."
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And after your wins, man, what do you typically like to do?
I just spend time with family and my team. We go out to eat. Just to celebrate. But yeah, that's typically it. We go to a restaurant or something, and most of the time there's usually some fights on the same night of the card, and we end up catching some fights.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to you catching some fights, man, who's maybe some of your favorite fighters you like to watch?
I wouldn't per se. My favorite fighter barely ever fights these days, and that's Mr. Jones. But other than that, I'm just a fan of the sport. I watch everybody. I try to watch everybody and learn from everybody. There's nobody you can't learn from, whether that be good things that people do or mistakes that people do.
Right. And when it comes to just how you want to be remembered in MMA, what would maybe that be?
I want to be able to go down as one of the greatest of all times, and I know that's a long road that I'm going down, but that's the ultimate goal. But that's just one of the side goals, really. But for the real goal is for me is to continue to prove and validate myself that I am one of the best in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned you're working a little bit more on your striking, man. I mean, what's maybe some of your things that you're trying to improve with it?
Being able to showcase a little bit more striking instead of just taking it down to the ground and grapple. I want to be able to showcase that I have, knockout power, and it's clean, crisp.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And when it comes to just trying to get that knockout power and stuff too, I mean, what do you typically do in stuff like for strength?
So I do a lot of things, actually. So not only just from the different training sessions, hard training sessions in the gym, the strength and conditioning sessions that I do with my trainer at Louissaint Fitness, Alex Louissaint. Those are everything I'm doing to improve my cardio and my strength and conditioning to be able to do that high intensity over the full fight.
Now, go ahead. What was maybe your favorite memory you had so far in the gym?
I would say my favorite memory so far is when I got to spar with Renan Barao. It's the the only UFC champion that I can say that I spar. Actually, no, Lyoto too. But favorite memory is when that was like, all right, man, things are getting real. Like this is I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. Now, how'd you end up meeting Lyoto, man?
So Lyoto trains at my gym, Fusion XL Performance in Orlando. There's a lot of Brazilians that train out of the gym. Those guys are awesome. So just blessed to be able to share the mats, to have that opportunity because we're teammates at that gym.
Yeah, no, definitely. And one thing about me is I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for 6 years, and I've been training since I was 5 years old. So that's 19 years now. And with that being said, with all the guys I have in my gym, what advice do you give them to keep on coming into the gym and to keep on getting better and better every day?
Man, it's honestly the discipline. I know everybody has life going on with all different types of obligations, of course, that you have to deal with, responsibilities, but when you have that time and you can make it to class, or even if you can't make it to class, do a workout, do something to improve on your skill set, whether that be your strength and conditioning or just your form, shadow boxing. But ultimately, if you can make it to the gym, just stick with it. you're not going to be perfect at first, but over time you're going to build that skill with repetition.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I was curious as well too. Obviously, you had a lot of fights in the cage. Did you happen to have maybe any street fights as well too?
uh well, let's just say, as a child, I knew I was gonna go down the MMA path. That's the best thing I could say.
Fair enough, man. And Sedric, man, it's been awesome talking to you, my man. What's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Follow me on Instagram. Show up, show out. You can catch up with me there. Tune in August 3rd. Gonna put on a show. People they're gonna see.
Yeah, and Sedric, we're looking forward to it August 3rd. And again, man, thank you so much for taking the time and coming on. It means a lot to me, and we're looking forward to that next fight, man.
All right, thanks, Kev. Thanks for having me.
My man. All right, man. Take care. Thank you again.
Take care.